Hört ihr uns gut da draußen? Free, free! Free, free! Free, free! Free, free! Genau so.
I'm here at Maria Theresienplatz in central Vienna, and behind me they're setting up a concert to protest another concert. Last year, Austria won the opportunity to host the next Eurovision. If you're somehow not familiar, it's like a mix of the Olympics and American Idol. Each country that participates sends a pop singer or two to try and win it all. It's usually pretty camp. The song is catchy, if not always good, and the attire is always over the top. And it's more controversial than you might think a song contest should be. What's the issue? The stage behind me has a banner. No platform for genocide. In 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine and got itself thrown out of Eurovision. So some people are wondering, why hasn't the same thing happened to Israel over its invasion of Gaza and Lebanon? In fact, a number of governments are wondering that too. Ireland, Iceland, Spain, Slovenia, the Netherlands, they all boycotted this year. Their public broadcasters aren't even showing it on TV. The argument is that Israel exploits Eurovision to present a more friendly, liberal face to the world. We know too that the Israeli government has fought hard to remain in the contest and to prevent others from pulling out. And it has poured a lot of energy into encouraging people to vote for their contestant. Still, doesn't every country kind of do that? And is it fair to hold an Israeli performer responsible for the actions of their government? I mean, I'm an American. I'm not sure I'm in a good position to talk. At the same time, I think I'd get it if people didn't want an American here either. It's not personal, it's politics. But should it even be here? I'm curious what people at this protest have to say about that. Hi, speaking English?
Yes.
Do you mind telling me about why everyone is out here?
Yes. First, I'm.
Tell me who you are.
Yeah, exactly. I'm Wilhelm Langthaler, and I'm part of the organizing committee, as well as representative of Palestine Solidarity Austria.
Okay, and so obviously Israel is participating in Eurovision this year. Why, from your perspective, is that a bad idea?
Israel is not only committing a genocide, it's also that they are using the song contest to make propaganda for their genocide. They are whitewashing the biggest crime since the Second World War. It's a crime against humanity, and we don't want this to be projected in the entire world and whitewashed, artwashed, whatever you want to call it. So it's something which we cannot accept. And it's not only us. It's a huge part of the population who does not want this show to happen. And we are not alone. You see, across Europe, there were very brave countries like Spain, like Slovenia, like others, who pulled out because the European organization continued to include Israel. You know, when there was the events in Russia, Russia was excluded all of a sudden. This was not a problem.
Why do you think they were so fast to exclude Russia, but Israel has not been similarly excluded?
Yes, this is the question which we posed. It's something incredible, no? Because the crime committed by Israel is extreme. It's they are exterminating an entire people. It's we cannot accept this, and this is why we were asking the Austrian government as well as the public broadcaster to exclude Israel. They did not react, and they are violating also Austrian constitution by that, because the Austrian constitution stipulates neutrality, but they are supporting a genocide. You know, this is something which is completely undemocratic, which is colonial, which is supporting apartheid. It's against international law. So what else can we do than to protest? And this is the result of the exclusion being done by our government.
Now, obviously, that raises a good point, because obviously you don't agree with the Austrian government. So I guess I'd wonder, why do you think it's fair to hold the Israeli performer responsible for the actions of their government?
You know that Israel put dozens of millions of euro into the song contest. So it's obviously a political mean to further genocide, to project Israel as a normal state, and to normalize genocidal behavior, to normalize apartheid. So it's fully political. So we address our government, which is our political representation, as well as our public broadcaster, who is organizing it, to stop it simply. It's a purely political thing, and they are using art. art is never unpolitical. So, and the proof is that Israel, the propaganda apparatus of Israel, is investing heavily in this thing.
Before I came to this, I wasn't sure how many people would actually show up. I've been to some pretty sad protests over the years. But this one is actually packed. At least 500 people, maybe 1,000, and pretty professional. There's a proper stage and a donation-based bar. There are also tables set up with people selling t-shirts and hawking their left-wing political magazines. One table has literature that, in German, describes Donald Trump as the world's #1 terrorist. It's a Trotskyist group called Linkswende Jetzt, which in English means turn left now. I figured I'd go see what they have to say about all this, and ended up speaking to Echo Lex, an organizer with the group.
Why is Israeli participation in Eurovision so objectionable from your point of view?
Yeah, so Israel is committing a genocide in Gaza. So, and not even just a genocide, there's also aggression towards other countries in the region. Mm-hmm. There has been for years and years. And that in itself is a problem. Like the European Broadcasting Union explicitly forbade Russia to participate because of their aggressive actions against other countries. And so it's very inconsistent to let Israel participate in that event, pinkwashing basically their actions with the support of the European Broadcasting Union and Austria as well.
How do you respond, though, to people that say, look, it's Eurovision, it's silly, it's fun costumes, it's fun songs, and yes, there's an Israeli participant, but they're not the Israeli government. So is it fair to hold them responsible? What do you kind of say to those people?
It's not about the singer per se, so it's about the political context of the event. The Eurovision is always portrayed as a non-political, non-partisan event, but it really isn't that. There has always been a very strong political connotation to Eurovision, especially participants do enter the contest under their country's flags. Mm-hmm. There's politicians all around Eurovision giving interviews, having photo shootings with stars and stuff. So there's a very big political component to that, and it wouldn't be fair to just separate it and say, well, it's just a singing contest, because it isn't that. It's a stage to present, for a state to present themselves. And so if we look at countries that are boycotting it, like Spain and Portugal, I think Ireland as well, a couple others.
Iceland, Slovenia.
Iceland, exactly. They're making this connection. They're stating explicitly, well, there is a political connotation to that. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having that conversation about Russia as well. So, and Russia is also having an aggressive war in Ukraine. So there's no escaping that.
The concert/protest was set up in the heart of the main tourist district here in Vienna. Just across the way is the museum quarter and a big pedestrian shopping mall. And I've seen a lot of tourists walking through and taking photos, a lot of them wearing Eurovision merchandise. On the edge, by a bustling street, there's someone with a black marker writing names on big white sheets of paper. I'm gonna go see what that's about.
My name is Charles. What is your name?
Manu.
Manu, and what are you doing right now?
So it's the vigil we started last year actually, and last year we met weekly to write down names of murdered Palestinians in the ongoing genocide in Gaza. And we get the names from visualizing Palestine. Overall, our goal is to peacefully bring awareness to and visualize all of the people who were murdered, martyred.
What would you say to some of the tourists that are walking around here? Maybe some of them came here for Eurovision and they thought they were just coming for, a good time watching song and dance. They don't really understand what it has to do with what you're doing right now.
Well, for starts, I get it that you came here to have a good time, and I don't want to villainize you for this. Israel kind of gets normalized as part of Eurovision, which is now coined as not political, which is just from its history and beginning of it not true. Mm-hmm. For me personally, it's more of a symbol for the nation, if they like it or not. I'm sorry, but people will make the connection. They will take from this a positive image of Israel, and I don't nuanced, yes, but right now this can't happen.
As Manu said, she didn't blame the tourists for coming or want to make them feel bad. But Israel's participation in Eurovision was an opportunity to remind them, and others, of all those killed in Gaza since 2023. That made me curious. What do the people coming from all over the world to see Eurovision think about this? The next day, I went to find out.
Are you ready for the final? Wow!
The city of Vienna hosted a big outdoor party all week next to City Hall, or Rathausplatz, for everyone who didn't have tickets to the event itself. I've been to events here before, and politics aside, they do it right. There are plenty of bathrooms, lots of places to get beer or wine, and the food options, honestly, they all look good. Tacos, schnitzel, and the pizza, it's like that artisanal kind with fresh basil. But if you've ever shown up to a party and you're the only one stone cold sober, you know it can take a minute or two to adjust and work up the energy to talk with complete strangers who are operating on a different level. I didn't have to worry about that too much, though. They started talking to me.
Are you pressed, mate? Are you pressed?
I am.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You got any spare tickets going for the venue?
That was Barry, and unfortunately I could not get him into the venue. He came all the way from the United Kingdom with his partner, Catherine. They look like they're in their 50s, and he's wearing what I would describe as an endearingly obnoxious vest, white with flowers all over it, that he told me he took possession of after someone left it behind at the pub. He says his friends don't see him as the kind of guy who would be into Eurovision. But he says he loves it, and he's loved it since he was a kid.
Come from Manchester, we've got to Eurovision every year.
Okay.
Started in Turin a few years ago, moved on to Basel last year, obviously in Vienna today, and absolutely brilliant. The people, no matter where you are, we're talking all sorts, sport, religion, Christianity and all that, and everyone loves each other.
What do they think, though, about the fact that Eurovision seems a lot more political these days? Earlier in the week, the Israeli performer was booed during the semifinals. People were kicked out. Barry and Catherine didn't really think this was the place for that.
To me, it's about the world coming together, like you say. It's about the peace. What's going on? Why do we hate each other? Why is there so many wars? Let's love each other for the right reasons.
It's universal, isn't it, really?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really matter, sort of where you come from. Music sort of joins everyone together, really. So,
what do you think about the fact that over the years, though, Eurovision got a little bit more politics involved in it, right?
Well, it shouldn't have had politics, should it, really?
Mm-hmm.
That was a whole ethos of Eurovision, is getting everybody together, and actually people that come here, there's no animosity because people recognise that if you're kind and nice to people and talk to them in a polite way, you can have decent conversations and gain understanding of another person, really.
Show respect no matter what country you're from, what religion you are. We've seen Ukraine flags, we've seen all sorts of flags, and no one's going past going boo and all that. And everyone's going, wow, yes. And I can have a photograph of it, and everyone's going, yes, yes. And it's friendly, and it's great, and that's how the world should be.
I find it hard to disagree. This is how the world should be. Barry and Catherine, they didn't really care if England won Eurovision this year. They knew it wouldn't. And that seemed to be the attitude of most people. They were dressed in the colors of their country's flags, Finland, Australia, Italy, but the atmosphere wasn't tense and it definitely was not competitive. But then, there is the world outside. You could see a little bit of it here. There was one guy with a Palestinian flag. There was nobody with an Israeli flag. And on the streets outside, there were police with more guns than I've ever seen in Austria. Later that night, actually early the next morning, Bulgaria was announced as the winner of Eurovision. That means it will host next year's contest. As one headline put it, Eurovision avoided its, quote, nightmare scenario. Israel came in second. For Critical Support, I'm Charles Davis in Vienna.